Ooh, that's just right. Oh, my good friend Adam, come on in. Come on, join the party here.
How you doing? How you doing?
Doing great. Can I get you a beverage?
Yeah, what do you have?
I got brandy.
That'd be great.
Sure, just give me a second.
Oh, boy.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
You'll notice we have ice cubes and whiskey stones in there.
All right.
A little bit of both.
Cheers.
All right. Nice to have you here.
Good to be here.
Now, my friend Adam here, I've known him for since 4th grade, long time. And how am I doing on camera there?
See, this boom's kind of right up in your face.
Well, just give it a little move. Do a little adjusting here. That's fine, you know. It's our first.
I got an idea.
That's smart.
There we go.
Good. Yeah. So Adam, I know since 4th grade. He's kind of a general funny guy. He recently did a.
Stop.
Recently got a little bit famous.
Stop.
A little bit famous on the internet.
Oh,
and
come on, stop.
I'll make sure to link to this in the video description. But he.
I'll move up a little bit here.
Let's move over.
Yeah. Right about there. That's perfect.
There we go. Oh yeah.
Now we can see that beautiful face of yours.
Let me just sneak in here. So he did this engagement photo pic, kind of a parody, where he is with a ladder.
It's a ladder. It's a yellow ladder.
Now on Huffington Post, it was on. They said that you did it because you got so fed up with seeing your Facebook feed full of these annoying engagement photos.
That is not true in the slightest. I am always happy for all of my friends, every one of them who is in a relationship or getting married. Is every single person I know. I have no resentment whatsoever for all of them because it's everyone. You know?
Yeah, sure.
It really is.
So why did you do it?
I thought it'd be funny.
Just for fun. You just got the idea one day, decided to finally follow through.
I got the ladder. The ladder and I had some history, so.
That was a great bit.
Thank you.
It's a good bit. So yeah, that's a little bit about Adam. I've known him for a long time. So I finally we've been trying to set this up for years, maybe.
Years, if not decades.
Maybe decades. And now we probably were talking about this before I even made videos. How we needed to get together and just do this. But now we're doing it. So we kind of prepped some topics ahead of time to talk about. We might just kind of fly, but we do have some topics. So I got my little list here. Let's just see what we got.
What's our list?
It's our list. So the first item here is writing versus smartphone typing.
Oh.
Because actually, while we were writing this list, he's trying to find a pen, and I'm like, why don't we just use our phones? And you don't like that.
It's not that I don't like it. It's if I had the choice between writing, as I've known how to do my entire life, on a sheet of paper where I could draw pictures, for instance, or maybe add emphasis and underline underneath something, or doodle. Smartphone does not offer that. It's a tiny little keyboard with my thumbs. It's convenient. I can save it, I guess. But for brainstorming, it's the opposite of creativity, I'd say.
I just like how I can make my notes, then I go home, I got them on my computer, I got them, I never lose my phone, these notepads, I lose them. But, I understand the value of writing, although I think it's kind of a dying art, writing. Cursive.
Well, I've never known how to write in cursive except my name.
These teachers, they told me, they say, you better learn how to write in cursive. We've all heard it.
I
because
remember
in
that.
college, you have to write in cursive all the time.
Yeah, you have to write in cursive.
Like the least, for all my elementary school fans, that is not going to happen in college.
Yeah, don't learn cursive.
Don't learn cursive. Don't waste your time. If anything, they tell you not to write in cursive because it's so annoying for the teachers to read. It's too different. No time for that.
I can't read it.
I can't read it either.
My grandmother, she writes me a note. I can't read any words of it.
Can your mom read it?
Yeah, my mom translates for me.
Translate English.
Transliterates. I don't know, however they say that. Who cares? Ooh, it's getting hot here.
Is it? It's that's what they call it, a hot tub.
Whew. I guess I won that one.
Yep. Okay. That's fine. Let's try that. You should get another one.
What do we got next?
Let's see. It's
food disgust.
Okay. This is one of my topics. I don't think we're going to have a consensus here, but we can. I think I can bring it up. I hate it when people get disgusted by food things, and what I mean by that is, recently I've been really into the Mongols. I listen to a big. I listened to a long history of the Mongols, And one of the things they ate while they were doing their war thing, or drank, is fermented horse milk mixed with horse blood. So they took these two things, mixed them together, and made like a protein shake. I mean, it sounds pretty gross to drink that. But people, I talk about to people, and they're like, oh, I can't even hear that. And they just like leave. They have to like walk away from where I am, or like they lose their appetite. It's like, people eat shit in the world that's weird. We eat a lot of weird shit ourselves. Like cheese is fucking pretty weird. And it smells really bad too. Mm-hmm. If you give somebody who doesn't eat cheese regularly a slice of Lorraine cheese and have to take a whiff of this and put it in your mouth, that's the last thing they're going to want to do. It smells like shit.
Yep.
Or like we take an animal carcass, rip its meat off its bones, and we eat that just fine. Mm-hmm. Or we eat liver. We, even like cow brains. That's not even that weird for Americans to be eating.
Eggs. What did you call that?
Embryos.
Yeah,
straight up. You just fry them up on the frying pan. I'm not trying to like dissuade you from eating. I'm just saying, if you frame things in a way that like it's not food, it's fucking weird.
Take a step back and think about the things you eat.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, they're all gross.
Milk is gross in general. Like, imagine if I gave you a cup of some woman's breast milk and say, drink this.
Depends on the woman.
No. It's true, but think about it though. You give her some of the woman's breast milk, and that's gross. But at least she's your species.
Yeah, but if it's from a fat, disgusting creature, then it's completely acceptable.
If it's from a cow, then it's because they run through some pipes with some chemicals and shit. Then it's fine. It's like that's just as gross as like all the stuff that like they eat lobsters. They're insects. Lobsters, they're big bugs.
They're straight up bugs.
So then on Fear Factor, they got people eating cockroaches, and that's the most disgusting thing in the world. But we eat lobster's delicacy. We gobble that up. You gotta, get shit into perspective. You can't be disgusted by things people eat.
What's the mashed up? What's that gross stuff? Pate.
Pate.
What is that? Is that liver?
It's liver. Yeah, it's mashed up liver.
Okay.
Tartare, just raw meat. Yep. Sushi's just raw fish. And that's people eat that all the time, and it's not even weird. So just open your mind a little bit. You don't need to get grossed out. Oh, I can't even hear that. Come on.
Yep.
It's just a little...
Yeah. Yep. No consensus on this one. No disagreement whatsoever.
Yeah, so
it's all right. We'll do better.
Bitcoin. You guys have probably heard of it. It's sort of getting a lot of play nowadays.
So maybe some people don't know what Bitcoin is. Can you give them a little overview?
I'll do my best.
If you even know.
Yeah, it's hard to know. The way I look at it, people are, well, it depends on how you look at it. There's two ways. You can look at it like a stock, in which case you buy it in a hope that you can make money and that value will rise. That's what I'm doing. I feel like Bitcoin's going to go up in value, and so I'm buying it now so that when it goes up, it's worth more to sell it. On the other end, though, you can buy it just investing in it as a currency, where you don't really care if it goes up or down. You really just want it to happen, and then you're going to just use it as money and buy things with it and maybe sell things with it, and that's all it's about. But really, it's virtual money that's on the internet only, and you can buy it and sell it and trade it and buy things with it.
It seems like the big appeal is a philosophical one in that it is not backed or endorsed by any one government. So a lot of libertarian types and people like that because they're against the idea of a government controlling the money supply or altering it. They want the market to simply decide the price of things, which is a just fine philosophical argument. But my problem is, as a currency, it's horrible because it's horribly like. What did it drop on Monday? You said something like
today. It went down from 500 to 400 and then up to 600 in the course of like an hour.
So that's like a 20% swing at least in 1 hour. So as a currency, if I was a business owner or even an individual looking for a way to pay for things, I would stay completely away from Bitcoin because I would not want to be exposed to that volatility of the price of it. It's ridiculous at this point.
Now, here's the thing with the volatility is once you make a transaction in Bitcoin, you can immediately convert that to money. So you get the Bitcoin value, the US dollar value of Bitcoin at that moment. You don't need to hold on to it.
Right, but what if you're a store? You'd have to adjust your prices constantly in order to charge the same.
Oh, yeah.
Or unless you have some system where you're converting to US dollars from Bitcoins, buying them, but then it just seems like a big hassle. What's even the point?
Yeah, if you're a store in today's world, you would just sell things in US dollars, and then if you got paid in Bitcoins, you just immediately cash them in. So if somebody else only wants to pay in Bitcoins, you don't have to turn them away.
I guess.
Maybe in the it's better on like the internet because then you can just have the prices update automatically. So US dollars, Bitcoins, euros, whatever you're into, and you can just pay in Bitcoins. I'm interested in, I'll tell you why, because I'm very anti-government. So am kind of expecting them to fuck the dollar up, and then I can have Bitcoin instead. I'm also there's a limit to how many Bitcoins there will ever be. 21 million Bitcoins or 24 million, something like that. There'll never be more than that. And I think if we get in now, then once they run out, the value will go way up. But on a different note, every decision I've made about Bitcoins has been completely wrong. I didn't buy them when I should have. I bought them when I shouldn't have. I didn't sell them when I should have. And now I'm holding my dick in my hand while the price is just dropping, you know? And it's because there's every little thing in the news affects the price a huge amount because there's not that many coins. Mm-hmm. So recently what happened is Mt. Gox, a big broker firm for Bitcoins, started messing around. And it made everybody freak out and sell them all. But you know what I'm waiting for is Amazon to say they accept them. And once that happens, I think they're going to go way up. So
I say sell. Sell your Bitcoins.
Sell them.
Get out of there.
I say buy them.
Get out of there right now before it's too late.
Yeah, so there you go.
Slight consensus.
It's a little bit.
A bit of a consensus.
I have one Bitcoin. I have one total Bitcoin.
Let's see.
Vitamins.
Go ahead.
Vitamins. I've been listening to Joe Rogan's podcast a lot. And recently, right this episode I'm listening to now, he's got a nutritionist on. So vitamin D comes from sunlight. You get the sun in your face, you get vitamin D. This nutritionist on the podcast, she says that most Americans, 70% of Americans, are deficient in vitamin D because our lifestyle isn't one that is suitable for going outside and getting sunlight in your face all the time. We don't do it that often. We sit in home on computers, you know, especially if you're in the northern area, like we're in Minnesota here.
Winter? Will this winter ever end?
No kidding.
Am I right?
You're right. So vitamin D, we're deficient in it. Now, vitamin D, according to this, biologist, it controls your serotonin levels and it controls a lot of shit in you. And they have all these studies where they have rats or whatever, they make them deficient in vitamin D and study what they do, and it affects their mood, it affects their temperament, it affects their memory. It's a lot of shit there. And you can't get vitamin D from anything except for going outside, and we're not doing that.
Hell
so
no.
you gotta take a pill.
Yeah, see, I'm for that. I guess if you are deficient in a vitamin, I'm for making up for it.
But you can't know that you're deficient without getting a weird test. So you might as well just,
I know, man. I'd know if I was. I'm not. I'd know.
Could you overdose on vitamins? That's what they should talk about.
I guess no. Oof. Yeah.
This is certainly a hot tub.
Take a little dip, cool off.
Let's talk about the study for a second. The study that came out recently, it's a really messed up study because it wasn't very well done. And Joe's talked about this, Joe Rogan on his podcast. I was at least 4 episodes because he really hates the study a lot. But he says one of the things they did is they gave vitamins for like a 10-year period. They gave vitamins to people who are over 65 who have had a heart attack already.
Okay.
They gave them vitamins and studied their and the vitamins did not repair their health. But those people are already, that's not what they're for. Vitamins they're not a fountain of youth. Vitamins aren't going to fix you if you're already dying and have a heart attack. If you start eating vitamins when you're 14 and you get better nutrition your whole life, then by the time you're 65, you probably will not have had a heart attack. This study it's shaky. It's messed up. It proves that vitamins don't cure you if you're old and dying, but it certainly doesn't say anything about whether they're good for you or they help you.
Yeah, I'm still against them.
Well, let me argue with myself a little bit.
Okay.
The thing about this whole nutrition thing, I've since I've become a vegetarian, I've gotten more into nutrition.
Yeah, we haven't always been hearing about that.
I don't think they have.
I'm kidding, buddy.
I've been more into nutrition since then. I'm talking about vitamins, about what vegetables have more stuff, and I care more. And I know, corn syrup is bad and gluten has bad things in it, whatever. But at the same time, 10 years ago, we didn't know anything about it. We didn't know shit. My parents didn't know anything about vitamins or nutrition, I mean, they know a little bit, but they're from Russia and they're old school. Old school people don't know. You eat your mashed potatoes and beef, you eat your broccoli, and you go to bed. That's what it's about. And nobody, we made it this far. Humanity made it this far from the caveman days, not knowing anything about it. And now we know that the sunlight gives us a vitamin called D, and then our body somehow eats that sunlight and converts it to serotonin. How do you figure that shit out? And how we get by not knowing that we need vitamin D?
Well, but I mean, by that same token, we survived without anesthetic for surgery, and that was just made people fucking miserable. And in theory, anything that improves our health improves our longevity. So I think it does make sense. We did survive. We're just surviving better.
Yeah.
Now I'm arguing against myself. I'm back. We're completely flip-flopped.
We are...
We've reached consensus, but the opposite way.
We both switched opinions.
Yeah. I guess congratulations, I say to you.
That's a great success.
That's a first for this podcast.
There we go. That's definitely a first. So that's vitamins, so we're done with that one. All right, here is a good one. This is it's a hot topic.
Oh boy.
Hot topic.
Speaking of hot, it is hot.
This is it's about our disagreements we personally have about the government.
Specifically, the question of freedom and liberty versus safety.
Yep.
I'd say that's a good way to start it. Now,
why don't you let me start about?
Okay.
Well, I'll start about.
Okay.
Let's say that the police said we're going to put a camera on every intersection in America. What do you say?
Against it.
You're against it.
I'm against it.
I would think most people are against it because
probably
fuck that, man. I don't want to be watched, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm for it because who is hurt by a camera in every intersection? People who run stop signs or run red lights and commit crimes at intersections. That's who stands to lose from this kind of a procedure. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with them giving tickets to people who run stop signs and watching more parts of the street?
I think that if there was some horrible crime problem, which there's not, of people like running stop signs, I don't know, maybe people do run stop signs. Stop signs one I don't really buy because who cares? Like who gives a shit if people are running stoplights? Maybe if was like some horrible crime going on at every intersection where people are getting robbed and like stabbed, if it was like an imminent public safety threat, then maybe I would consider it. I think there's not. And I think that in all cases, we should choose the side that does less tracking and less surveillance and gives any government, current or most importantly future, which we do not know who's going to be the federal government or the state government a couple of years from now, because by the way the system is designed, whoever gets elected is the boss of the country. So they could be some horrible dictator for all we know, like waiting in the wings for once they get elected. And if that were the case, I think it is better if they have less information, they have less ways to track people in general. That's why. It's kind of I think there's no threat, and I think in general there should be more liberty.
Yeah, and that's a fair viewpoint, but to me that seems like a real doomsday scenario where you're sacrificing your safety every day up until
get some. You're safe. We're all safe. Who's not safe?
People who are victims of violent crime, they're not safe.
Violent crime is down. It's getting
that's
getting
that's
less
fine.
and less.
But I think that the law enforcement should take advantage of all the technology available to lower it. I mean, it's never low enough. There's never too little crime, and this would help. I think it would definitely help. Now the stoplight scenario. This is less inflammatory than my more radical view, where I think everybody should be microchipped. I think that should happen. I think that's a great idea. Like we're all fingerprinted. I think we should have a microchip on us, and it would completely stop. It would completely solve like kidnapping. Just solve it. It would all but stop major crime because you couldn't steal things and get away with it. You'd get caught immediately. It's like what was that movie? Minority Report. Sort of. Well, sort of.
Yeah.
But the thing in the movie, you couldn't commit a crime because they catch you right away. They
before you did it.
They catch you before you did it. But in this, and it's not before you did it here. But you couldn't get away. You would be caught. So you rob a bank, they got you. They know who robbed the bank. Adam Malone robbed the bank.
I didn't rob no bank.
Well, they know you wouldn't, and that's another point. When a crime is committed, they would know who didn't commit the crime. It would really be a great tool.
I can't argue with that.
Before you go into what they would do with it, let me ask you like this: how would it affect your life if you had a microchip in you right now?
Currently, right now, it wouldn't. I'm saying that is why. The long view is why I'm against it. I think that the crime is worth it to have a society where people aren't tracked, and some future government who, for whatever reason, wanted to use this information for any sort of bad... You're the guy who hates the government so fucking much, yet you trust them with a microchip knowing where everyone is.
It's true. I do.
You're telling me that? That makes no sense. That makes no sense at all.
I do hate them a lot.
But you want them to know where everyone is no matter what.
Well, my distaste for the government isn't from that I think they're doing things that are harmful to me.
Yeah, you think they're doing, mild things.
I think that they just can't do anything right, and they do everything bad. So I would just want them to have the least amount of power. But
I would say knowing where everyone is, a database of where everyone is at all times, is about as much power as they could ever have, besides tanks.
It doesn't come at a cost to me.
it comes as a direct cost to society of them. Even the fact of them having that information offends me, and I would be completely against. The very fact of them having it, I don't like. That's what I don't like. I think it's bad. Too many bad things could happen. Not enough good things could happen. Stop crime. Who cares? Crime is fine. Crime's worth it.
I do care about crime.
Crime's worth it.
I don't like it. I think that my life would be not negatively affected by a microchip. We put microchips in our pets.
Yeah, who cares about pets? Nobody's gonna like round up all the democratic pets.
So you're afraid of? Yes, you're afraid of.
Well, as a most extreme example,
some
yes.
tyrannical.
As an extreme example, yeah, I am afraid of that.
Now on the reverse token, on you, when it comes to things like healthcare or public education, you want the government to control that.
In some cases, I'm for reforms in both that try to maximize private sector involvement to as much as it's reasonable.
Maximize it.
Well, as in the healthcare thing, I think that it is morally right for everybody to be able to have it and afford it, whether or not you can personally afford it. I think society should pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
Public education, I don't know. I don't know what I think. It's very different than like knowing where everyone is at all times, though.
Well, it's different, but it's giving the government power. It's both. We both support and don't support giving the government power in completely different ways. I want the government to have no money, but have all the capabilities to protect this public. And I feel like giving them the information they need, that would help them do that.
I think the government should only protect. Well, I think most of the protection should be from without, against foreign.
What about inside?
Yeah, I think there should be limited protection against that.
Limited?
Yeah, I think it should be more limited. As in, I would be for the government implanting a microchip on everybody outside of the United States and knowing where they are.
Oh.
Because I think that would preserve the United States of America better than it would than having microchips of people within it.
They should at least microchip.
I mean, I don't think they should. I'm just saying as to illustrate where I stand. Well, we have reached consensus on the police state one. I think there's.
Yeah, I don't think
we are completely at odds. We're not gonna think we ever will be.
What do we got next there?
Bacon and vegetable.
Vegetarianism. That's me bringing that up again. Two things. Well, one thing. Okay, I'm a vegetarian now, as I said a second ago, for about I don't know how many months. August.
Couple months. Half a year.
Yeah, been going fine. I've noticed that. I mean, the hardest part about being a vegetarian isn't the eating. It's the people. And every time I bring it up, every time it comes up, like, oh, you're a vegetarian, and then we try to talk about it, there's always somebody in every single conversation who says something relating to bacon. It's either, I could never give up bacon, or how can you give up bacon, or but bacon is so good. It's always a fucking bacon statement, and it's never funny. It's never been funny once. And I hear it all the time, and it's really starting to make me upset.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, when did bacon get big? As in, I remember, I've known about bacon, I've eaten bacon my whole life, and yeah, it's good. Like, I like bacon, everybody has liked bacon. But at some point, it turned into this big thing. Yep. Like a huge thing. And I'm against things in general, and I'm especially against this one, and I understand your pain on the vegetarianism thing.
It's just, it's not a joke, like it took me, how many years did it take me to become a vegetarian? Let me ask you that. 20 years? I'm 30.
I guess you had no choice when you were a kid.
Well, I actually tried when I was a kid. My parents made me feel so bad about it. I had no choice to stop. But it took me decades to come to this conclusion and finally do it. I take it very seriously. And I don't like when it's made into a joke because I don't feel like it is a joke.
Well, so your feelings are hurt about it. I thought you just hated the joke.
Oh, I hate the joke too because it's not funny. But at the same time, I find it a little bit offensive to make a joke out of it because, well, it's hard to explain why, but it is. It is an offensive thing to say to someone. It's like, I don't know what it's like. It's hard to say.
I'm sorry, man.
I take animal rights very seriously. So,
do you want me to not make fun of you for talking about it all the time?
Let me talk about something real quick.
Okay.
It is unrelated to our list, but it's about abortion. And it's not, so I'm pro-choice. I'm assuming you're pro-choice too. Are you?
Yeah, I'm pro-choice.
I'm assuming that.
I'm pro-choice.
So no consensus there.
No consensus, no.
I used to be really pro-choice and anti-people who are pro-life. And I was like, what do they care? It's not their baby. What do they care? I finally, I don't know when it happened, but it clicked in my mind why I shouldn't be mad at those people and why I understand them a little bit. And here's how it goes. Here's my rationale. You would agree that it's wrong to kill a person.
Yeah.
So my neighbor over there, let's say, it's theoretical. Let's say he kills people. Like he kills people. I see him do it. I've seen him in his living room doing it. Let's say it's not true. It's not happening. But I'm saying, let's say he's doing it. And I go knock on his door and I say, yo, Stan, you can't be killing people in your living room. And he says, what do you care? You don't know them. And then I go back to my house. Then I call the police and I tell the police, my neighbor, he's killing people in his living room. And the police come and stop him. Now, that is how the pro-lifers feel. It isn't them trying to stop you from making a choice. It's them looking at it like you're killing a child. That's how they see it. It isn't like they are trying to impose their beliefs on you. It's not, to them, it's not like, what if my neighbor believed that killing people is fine? Like, anybody who cut him off in the street, he believed it's fine to kill him in his religion. And he's from, some rainforest tribe. And they kill people for whatever. So he's like, oh, that's fine. They committed a crime against my family. I can kill them. That's completely legal. But it's not, because I know it isn't. So whether or not I'm imposing my beliefs on him, the thing is, I know for a fact he's doing something wrong. And I'm going to do everything in my power to save the people that he's murdering in his living room.
It's an intractable argument, really.
Yeah.
There's really no give.
Right, and that's what abortion is to these people. Like we look at it like, are you okay with it? Because I think our reasons here are very different.
Well, I think that until a child is born, it should be the complete decision of the person who it's dependent on being.
So, but how does that affect
the womb?
You think the child is not officially a human being until it's
somewhere? Yeah, sure. I mean, that's what the law says, that it's not officially until
there's so many months.
It might depend on the state. I don't know.
Weird. See, to me, it's just that I don't value the child that much. That's my thing. I mean, I wouldn't kill kids, but I just don't really mind that much if a child is terminated, as long as there's no suffering involved. That doesn't bother me, But to pro-lifers, the baby is a baby from the beginning. It's a human life, and that human life is a human life. So in you aborting it for whatever reason, that's you killing a child, and that's how they see it.
Yep.
And I still don't see it that way. But when I run into a pro-life person, I definitely understand where they're coming from, because that's how serious it is to them.
It's intractable.
They're trying to stop you from doing a crime that is serious to them. It's not like an opinion difference. Mm-hmm. That's it. So that's and I mean the reason I thought about this is that's kind of what I am like that with animal rights. That's like me with killing pigs and cows. I feel that way. Like, that's wrong to do. So when people make jokes about bacon, to me it's like they're making jokes about killing pigs and cows, and that I find that really bothers me. So that's why I don't like that. I don't like comments like that at all.
It's good to know for many reasons.
There you go. Oh, last one.
All right, finally. Social media communication vectors. This may be the one that started off this whole idea, in fact.
We gotta talk about whiskey stones.
Oh, right. Okay.
Well,
social media. Well, let me introduce this one. What pisses me off is there's a dozen ways, even for the average internet goer, who I'm not into as many sites as most people are. There's a million ways to communicate with people, and you need to just juggle all of them simultaneously. Like, there's email, text messaging, Facebook messages, Twitter messages, personal messages on God knows however many systems there are. There's just Facebook posts, like tweets, all sorts of these things that you need to always juggle, and I just hate it.
Just give you a headache.
That's it. I hate it. It gives me a headache.
So
I don't know.
I mean, is it that you're overwhelmed by messages? I mean, do you get that many that it bothers you?
Well, no.
Do you hate the potential to have so many?
I mean, someday when people want to talk to me, then perhaps maybe I will be overwhelmed. No, I mean, it just bugs me. Like, I just wish... And here's how complicated my stance is. I don't even wish there was one way to do them all, because I know they've made many, ever since back like the AOL Instant Messenger days, like you can hook up your MSN and your AOL and all these things together and chat all through one thing. I hated those things. Like, I don't know why. I just like logging on to Facebook, but now it pisses me off. I don't want a one-size-fits-all app. I hate them all. It bugs me. It's not really rational. I don't want a solution. I just want to complain about it.
Interesting.
Yeah. What do you think?
What can I add to this? Well, I support most of them. I think we reached about critical mass of social media now.
Yeah.
The new, Snapchat is the newest one that I'm familiar with, and I don't really get Snapchat. I don't use it. I don't get it. I don't get what it does. I mean, why would you want a picture that only lasts for 10 seconds? Dick pics.
Yeah, sexy pics.
It's just sexy pic. That's
Yes.
it. Okay, so it's great for that. It's great for sending dick pics. I love it for that. But like, people are sending just regular pictures, like waving and like pictures of food.
Yeah.
It's like, who gives like what? Well, just send a regular picture. What's Snapchat for? Why would I download another application to do what Instagram does? Unless I'm sending dick pics.
Yep.
I'm not sending that many dick pics though. So
Well, there's a reason to
and
start.
to be honest, people sent dick pics before there was Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
And
you can take a screenshot of a Snapchat, so it's not even like it's secret.
yeah, the idea that like information deletes itself though, I think is very good. And I wish that Facebook and Twitter and all social media sites would have an option in your profile to set an expiration date on all your posts, where it would automatically delete them all. That would be a really good idea. So you can put like Facebook, you can put a 4-year expiration date on all your content,
It's a good idea.
and it would delete it all.
Did
for
they let
you.
you delete it after the fact?
You can delete, sure, but who's got time for that? You go back 4 years to delete your shit.
Well, you should just be able to say like delete everything from X years ago.
They don't have that, and that would be a good.
should
That would
have
also be good. Yeah, there's a lot of ways they can do it, but I think set expiration date on all your content. That's a great idea, and you can just kind of go and delete all your stuff that way. But I had a rant about why you should have Facebook. I'm a big Facebook supporter. I have a lot of reasons why. I list 2 reasons why right now, right off the top of my head. Reason 1, what are you looking at it for?
No reason.
Okay. My fiance right now, currently, I pretty much met her through Facebook. I actually met her at a wedding, but I never would have seen her again unless we became Facebook friends that day. And then through Facebook, we chatted and got in a relationship to the point where we actually went on a date, and then now we're getting married. It was a complete Facebook romance that was created.
Yeah.
Strictly from Facebook. Would not have been possible otherwise. If either I or her did not have Facebook, that wouldn't have been possible. Then, now I'm planning my wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get a cake. I don't know what the first thing about cakes, but I remember a Facebook post sometime that Lacey from high school has a cake pop company. She makes cake pops.
Lacy cakes?
Lacey Cakes, that's right. Lacey Cakes. She makes cake pops now. I remember I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. At the time, I didn't give a shit. But now I'm having a wedding. I need the cake pops. So I hit her up on Facebook, and she's still there. And we haven't talked since high school. We haven't talked for 12 years. And I hit her up, and I'm like, hey, Lacey,
Yeah,
how about
good for her business, good for you.
how about some cakes?
Yeah.
And then we met, and now we're getting Lacey Cakes. That's 2 examples right there. And that's not even counting every time I talk to people who I rarely ever talk to. But sometimes I need something like, hey, there's a guy I know who's a lawyer. Then we have a conversation. There's a guy who's a carpenter, who's a painter. You can hit him up and ask him a question. You can't get that anywhere else,
It's true.
unless you maintain those relationships like friendships.
Google
but
Plus.
Yeah, Google Plus. But it's just that's a Facebook kind of a thing.
It's a
But
joke.
yeah, they got some stuff. Speaking of Google, here's an idea for a developer. You make a script or a Gmail plugin that just searches every email you have for the word unsubscribe, and it just follows through and subscribes you to everything.
That's a good idea.
An unsubscriber script. Why hasn't it been done?
I read something about you've seen that new app or whatever came out, the Unsubscribe Me. You heard of this? Everyone's talking about it.
Gmail's new plugin.
No,
thing?
it's not Well, yeah, it's like a Gmail app or something like
We're
that.
automatically
But
unsubscribed
I was
with-
reading something about that, and they
really
said
get it.
Gmail's. Well, you say give access to my email,
Yeah.
and it unsubscribes you. I guess I don't know how you pick the things.
Sounds great.
I don't know. I don't want to do it because I don't like giving things access to my email. That's my most important online thing is my email.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that is ever compromised, I'm done on everything else.
All the child pornography.
Well,
Okay. Well, thanks a lot for coming. It was great to have you.
we covered a lot.
We didn't
argue as much as I would have liked.
Yeah.
Not much consensus. Really,
I think next time
overall.
we could do better. But
Yeah.
we mostly agree because we're rational human beings
Yeah, and we're good buddies.
and we're good friends. We wouldn't have gotten along so well through so many years.
Ain't that the truth?
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and I guess we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.